Alright guys, what's up? This is HungriCroc coming at you now here with another game of MechWarrior Online. Tonight here guys, I will be trying out this mech right here. This is the Mist Lynx. This is a light mech from what I'm aware of it. And I have seen this mech used and played before. Again, I'm not really familiar with it too much. That's why I'm just going to really check the mech details, see what it has. We have machine guns, short-range missiles, and long-range missiles, but other than that, that's all we have. Well, we do have jump jets. That's usually normal for light mechs. That's to be expected. But otherwise, if you're looking here, all I see are mostly missiles and machine guns. We don't actually have any lasers of any sort, which is somewhat surprising because usually light mechs, I would think we would have maybe some form of lasers, maybe medium or small lasers, or occasionally a large lasers like we could expect on the Spider itself. But if we do a comparison really quickly, I just want to check the Spider comparison to itself. Let's see, the Spider itself, 25 damage, 210 armor, 137 kilometers speed, and if we look at this, 113 kilometers per hour, 134 armor, and 26 firepower. So it's definitely a lot weaker, I guess, in terms of the Spider, in terms of armor, but very slightly higher in terms of firepower. And I assume that's only simply because the missiles itself. Now, this is unusual to me. I have not ever played this mech before, so this will be my first time. It's unusual in the sense that I'm not familiar with a light mech that has both long-range and short-range missiles available to it. But the thing I guess that's most concerning to me is it only has 2 machine guns. There are no lasers, so essentially I'm questioning whether or not how effective this light mech is, because once we run out of those short-range missiles and those long-range missiles, we're essentially just stuck with our machine guns. So really, how effective are machine guns in fight itself, unless the enemy again is very cored up in the red zone? But again, this will be my first time trying out this mech, and it is a trial for those of you guys who have played this mech. Definitely please let me know in the comments below how I can actually use this mech better in a sense. But right now guys, we're just going to give this mech a go, and hopefully we get into some good games, and hopefully also I get a good understanding of how to use this mech itself. But alright, let's just find some games then. Okay, alright then guys.
25%. Right leg destroyed. Machine gun fuel at 25%. Left leg.
3, 2.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Alright guys, I'm struggling. I'm really struggling to use this mech. I've already played maybe 4 or 5 games before this one, guys, and all of those were considerably bad losses and just really sloppy control of the Mist Lynx. Mist Lynx? Mist Lynx, I think that's how you spell that's how you say it. But either way, gameplay itself, these few previous games before this have been really poor. So I do apologize for that. I've been dying quite a bit, and I'm learning very slowly, or maybe very quickly, I don't know which, but either way, it's a pretty harsh learning curve right now how to use this mech. It's proving to be very painful. If you think you can't learn humility through this game, well, you're wrong, because you actually can. And I'm learning it pretty fast in that sense. Definitely just a word of advice again, or before I say that actually, I just want to remind everyone that again, I am a new player, and this is my first run ever using this mech in itself. And this is a trial mech, and this is a trial for me as well, essentially. So this is going to be my first base perception and thoughts of the matter, and that's why I am looking for those of you who are much more experienced in the game itself, who can be considered veterans, so to speak, who can provide me greater input on the mech itself. I'm praying and hopefully, really hoping that this game is going to be a good one, guys, because this past evening, in general, has just been not good. Just really not good, guys. Really not good. But some observations I've already made from myself concerning this mech in general is, please, for the love of God, if you really can, don't let this mech, don't take it into close quarters if you can, please, guys. Just please don't. I really discourage it. Again, if you look at what our weapons are, our weapons, we have machine guns, we have LRMs, and we have SRMs. Now, those LRMs are probably the biggest amount of firepower we're going to ever get, and that's probably our greatest advantage that we're going to ever provide, honestly. And in terms of support, I realize that this mech right now is not designed as a light offensive, maybe put it this way, it's not designed as a light mech that's meant to be up close in someone's face, distracting them. This mech, I believe, just looking upon its weapons and the fact that we're using our LRMs so extensively, is more designed to be a support mech. Just the fact that we have LRMs provides substantial support and, I guess, overall damage output of course, just for the team itself. I mean, we don't have lasers, and we certainly don't have long-range lasers. Long-range lasers would provide us the means to really take shots at the enemies from long range, but we have to contend with using our LRMs. Now, it is dwindling our ammo, but our LRMs are, again, the greatest advantage in the sense that, you know, we don't necessarily have to have clear view of the enemy. As long as we are locked onto them, we can simply just fire our weapons upon them, and that's a nice advantage. Oh, we're taking some shots from behind already. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I'm going to get behind here. Hopefully that king crab can do most of the damage. I'm hoping he can, but at the same time we are being surrounded.
Target acquired.
This is not good.
New target acquired.
Either way, unless we're locked onto an enemy, we can't actually use any of our other weapons, such as our short-range missiles even. Which is, I would say, a significant disadvantage compared to that of using lasers, which don't require necessarily lock-on targets. Oh boy, we just lost our support right there. We are... Okay, I'm actually going to back out of here, guys. I need to actually find some support right now. Again, I really don't recommend taking this mech out in close quarters. If we can really just stay behind our friendlies, put some distance between us and the enemy, that is the preferred position we would like to be in. Mind you, that is preferred, of course. Trying to do some damage here. Laying out the hurt. Alright, that's one mech down. It's 7-7. Pretty even game right now, guys, but by no means is this going to be easy. So, yeah, definitely... Oh, that's the enemy mech right there. So hopefully we can kill this mech. Did we kill that mech? Yes, we did. Oh, let's see if we can get a lock on that guy. Again, LRMs, while they're such a powerful asset, we can't use them if we're in close quarters. We need to have a certain distance to really use them. But that's probably also really the Mist Lynx's greatest strength, honestly, you know. While we don't necessarily provide the greatest direct damage offensively, such as that of using lasers, when I compare it to that of perhaps the fire starter or the spider, which has a large laser and definitely can take long-range shots at enemy mechs and whittle them down. We do have our missiles, and you know that actually is an advantage for us because we can be undercover and we can still use our missiles against enemy mechs. That's a fire starter, and I'm doing something. Okay, so we ran out of our LRMs right now, so we don't have our long-range capabilities. All we have is our short-range missiles and our machine guns. I'm going to see if we can do something out of this. It's going to be difficult. Again, machine guns aren't really effective against enemy mechs unless they're heavily cored up. Hopefully this fire starter is trying to get a beat on this guy. Oops, I'm sorry. I think I did some little bit of friendly damage right there. Trying to find this mech. Really struggling. Where are you? This looks like the last mech, to be honest. Let's see. Well, I'm trying to get him. Wow. Have I just been destroyed? Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's so sad. I can't believe I died by that. I didn't even know. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. That's a new mistake, guys. That's a new mistake on me. But we should be finishing this game, guys. So that's the game right there. Sorry, guys. I am slightly disappointed that the gameplay content overall has been so weak. I do apologize for that. But definitely some things I've noted for myself in concerning that of the Mist Lynx. Definitely we don't want to be in close quarter proximity unless we need to, which would mean you definitely want to use your LRMs first before you engage the enemy in close quarters. Again, mind you, we do have machine guns, we do have short-range missiles, but unless you're locked onto an enemy target, you can't use your short-range missiles even then. It's really difficult, even for myself especially. I am a noob, but it can be difficult sometimes, even when you're locked on, to get to focus on a tracking, moving target. You know, so unless you can really focus and hopefully have your aim correct and your short-range missiles hit your target, your machine guns aren't going to do that much damage unless, again, the enemy is heavily cored up and in the red itself. So your best bet, from what I assume or what I'm gathering from this mech itself, is really using your LRMs to the full extent of your abilities before engaging them in close quarters. Hopefully you don't have to. It's interesting because the light mech itself, I do usually imagine it to be a mech where you can use it more offensively, usually going behind enemy lines, using your lasers to poke at them. Now, I'm not saying you can't do that for the Mist Lynx itself. Certainly you can do that with your long-range missiles. That is something that is pretty nice. You know, again, you don't necessarily have to be seen and be out in the open. You can actually be undercover so long as you have them locked on. You can use your missiles. However, the only thing is, we don't exactly have unlimited missiles at our disposal. And the Mist Lynx itself, if we do a comparison again to the Spider, it does have less armor. It is slightly higher in terms of HP, but the thing is, its armor is much lower than that of the Spider itself, which really leaves it especially fragile. And light mechs itself are already pretty fragile in itself, so that is a concern. So again, I'm going to get some more gameplay content for you guys, so don't count this video to be over just quite yet. So yeah, stay tuned.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Alright then, here we go, guys. Well, not gonna lie, sorry about that, guys, if I kind of left you hanging out there. I went to take a little bit of a break, you know, duty calls sometimes. My stomach was feeling the need to be recharged and refueled before I hit this game again. But yep, here we are back again with the Mist Lynx itself, and as you probably noticed, again, I have struggled with the mech itself. It's been a little bit tricky, guys, and if you guys are wondering why I post, or in my video why I show scenes of me actually being blown up and getting killed, the reason why I do that is because I don't want to give you guys an impression that I always win my games, because, you know, in reality I don't. You know, it's I don't want to show you gameplay in which I get killed very easily or really quickly, and the reason being is simply because, again, I usually die very quickly. Usually maybe within the first 5 minutes of game, it's pretty bad, and I just don't want to show you guys gameplay content of that because it's not really fun things to watch. But anyway, regardless of that, sorry about that. I'm just ranting a little bit on right now.
Acquired.
We're going to try to see here if I can get a lock on this guy, and totally... Damn, okay, well, that failed. I totally didn't anticipate terrain right there. That's a noob mistake you guys don't want to make, and I just did that. And if you're wondering why I'm going around this way, it's because actually the enemy, if you saw in our map, it's close to B4, and again, this is a pretty fragile mech, so to speak, and I don't want to overtly expose myself, especially in the front lines. It's pretty much a good way to get yourself killed really easily. And again, you might notice I'm doing comparisons with that of the Mist Lynx or that of the Mad Dog itself, mostly because the Mad Dog is an LRM boat, as someone actually told me as it was, and the Mist Lynx kind of reminds me of the Mad Dog in itself just because of that, because it has LRMs, but also in comparison to Spider, it is a lot more fragile.
Target acquired.
Let's see if we can get a lock on this guy for LRMs, and hopefully we get our hit right there. Let's see. Yep, okay, we do some damage, and going to fire off another salvo right there. Yep, that's pretty good. Seems like we're doing
New target
some good for the
acquired.
team. So, again, like I've been saying before, if you, your LRMs are probably your most powerful asset to this mech itself, and really that provides you a lot of options in terms of fire. As for lasers, I really do like lasers, and especially large lasers for light mechs in general. I think it just gives a huge opportunity of firepower to light mechs that they generally don't have sometimes. But
Target
with our
destroyed.
LRMs, definitely we can actually remain in cover and still use our missiles.
Target
Like right here,
acquired.
like for example, the King Crab. He doesn't see us actually, but he's getting a lock on, and we have a lock on him, and we can rain missiles on him without feeling the fear of actually getting shot at. That is crap. Okay, that sucks again. Noob mistake right there. But as I was
New
saying,
target acquired.
really having the ability to. Okay, and that's another frustrating thing. That's definitely throwing me off my game right there. Sorry about that, guys. But
New target
definitely, as I
acquired.
was saying, the fact that we can lock onto enemy targets like this and then fire our missiles without being shot back at is really a huge advantage. I noticed that now for the Mist Lynx itself, versus that if you had lasers where you have to
Target
expose yourself.
acquired.
Now,
New target
this is
acquired.
pretty risky. I definitely don't like this. Okay, our friend just died right there, so I'm going to get out of here right now. Trying to get some cover. It's really essential for this mech because, again, I noticed that also that this mech really loses its weapons really fast. Now that sounds like, what do you mean by that, HungriCroc? Like, a lot of light mechs lose their weapons really fast if they take a lot of hits. But what I mean by that is, again, in comparison to the Spider or even the Fire Starter, it's surprising how much damage a Fire Starter can take
Target
versus that
destroyed.
of the Mist Lynx. And I've noticed that the Mist Lynx, when it takes quite a bit of damage, especially in the front or just anywhere in general, you have the high capability or possibility of just losing your weapons really fast. And the Fire Starter, that's actually surprisingly can be quite tanky sometimes, even for a light mech in itself.
Target acquired.
Let's see, just firing off my machine guns here, just being a nuisance if anything, but really that's not doing too much. Trying to hopefully get a lock on these mechs, fire my missiles at them. Really need to do that to provide support, because honestly, you really want to use the full extent of your missiles until you use them up effectively. It really does make a huge difference for a team in general, and we're going to just chase this Locust. Usually, it's not that big of a threat. It's just a light mech, but, Oh, oops, okay. I just accidentally fired on our King Crab here with our short-range missiles. That was completely unintentional, and this is definitely not a place you want to be. There's a Hellbringer right there, and sure, it's just a Locust, but damn, that's a lot of firepower that we can't really contend with. Going to try to put some distance between us, maybe shoot off a... Okay, yeah, this is... Okay, again, guys, if you get yourselves caught in this situation, really just use your speed to get the hell out of there, because we are pretty lit up right now, and again, you want to put some distance between you and the enemy mechs. You have LRMs, and you definitely need some amount of distance in order to fire them, so definitely putting yourself at that distance will give you a distinct advantage. Your enemies are no longer firing at you, and of course you can indiscriminately rain down hell with your missiles with pleasure and relative safety. Now, I am engaging this Raven right here. Of course, as you can tell, I'm totally disregarding my advice of staying at some distance to use our LRMs. I just feel like wanting to kill this Raven right now, guys. And do mind my poor aim of machine guns. I'm still struggling to turn around. Hopefully we can get this guy. And that's the killing blow. Awesome. Pretty sweet for us. 12-8. Not too bad. And honestly, I'm pretty happy that I got that kill. Short-range missiles finally come in hand. That's great. Of course, then again, you really do need to have that lock-on. If you don't have that lock-on, even for short-range missiles, guys, and you're just left with your machine guns, it's going to really suck and hurt for you guys. That's definitely probably one of the things I've noticed about this mech, that it's a little bit not inclined towards my favorite, perhaps. Maybe there's balance issues, of course, but the fact that this mech is so heavily dependent upon target, you really have to have a lock-on in order to use your weapons to its full capabilities, because to be honest, machine guns are just a poor excuse for damage, to be honest, unless again your enemies are really caught up in the red or they're very heavily damaged and you have a high chance of doing critical damage in which you can kill them very quickly. But that's usually not the case until hopefully the mech is either really hurt thanks to your other fellow mechs who've consistently done some great damage against it, or it's later on in the game where most mechs at this point or at that point to be specific, are going to be, again, mostly damaged and at risk of getting killed off very fast. But overall, I do like this mech, actually. It's very interesting. Again, it fits that LRM boat and, of the Mad Dog itself. And again, if I had to do a comparison between that of the Spider and the Mist Lynx itself, they both serve different roles. I noticed that the Mist Lynx, again, really plays a good role of light support just because it has those LRMs at its disposal, which makes a significant difference, in terms of really changing the battlefield itself and how you can support your team, versus that of the Spider, which has, of course, it has 4 machine guns, it has an ER large laser, but that Spider, I would say, is better suited for probably going behind enemy lines, doing a lot of flanks, poking at the enemies, versus that of the Mist Lynx itself, which is, I would probably say, better suited at longer ranges. It is really, again, fragile. It does go down pretty fast, actually, versus that of the Spider, which, again, the Spider is a light mech. It is still, not really tough, but I've noticed just in terms of gameplay and what I've played through tonight that definitely the Mist Lynx is a lot weaker in terms of armor plating. You got to be definitely aware of that, guys. But yeah, those are just my thoughts and first impressions of the Mist Lynx itself. I hope this has proved informative to you guys, and overall, I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay content. If you want, please do hit the subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. If not, your views really do help in the end, guys, and I really appreciate the support. But I'm going to go right now, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and like I always say, take care of yourselves and take care of those around you. Until next time here on MechWarrior Online, see ya.